Start streaming. It seems to be streaming.
People really need to see the side of my head with.
Yeah, they do. It's real important.
It's so important. I should just do it like this.
Well, we broke the mystique.
What you got over here?
Yeah. Oh, you want some box bands?
Oh, that's the thing. That was like giant rubber bands.
Basically, now there's a lot of generic board game box bands that are way better than the original box bands.
I need baggies, but the problem is I only need like maybe 30, 50.
How
and
big? 'Cause I bought a ton of baggies.
Oh, for board game?
Yeah, a long time ago.
They sell them like in a pack of 500. I'm like, hell no, I don't need
Yeah,
that.
I got a lot.
Oh, good. I just need like a fistful, I guess.
Well, I'll dig them out later, but
You know, the normal cube holding size.
okay.
The kind you would use to hold, say, your colonists.
Okay, I got a bunch laying around
Or-
that size.
Or all of your barrels.
The only ones I don't have are the ones that are the size of basically opioids.
No. I just need the regular board game hold your cube size.
Yeah, it could. I mean, what if it's sidereal confluence?
I just need a lot,
One of those bags would not hold all the cubes of even one.
The problem is right now I got my red cubes and my red cylinders in one bag. I want to split them up in a cube bag and a cylinder bag.
I can see that. I can see that. All right, I'll just tweet that we're starting the stream, and then we'll do the show. GeekNights live. Oh, nope, not that. It didn't update the thing yet. GeekNights live. Treasure Island. Starting already.
I have to figure out how to turn off notifications for Discord because now it's going ding ding.
Oh, you
ding,
can
ding,
you
ding.
can mute and you can basically turn off notifications for individual channels, and you can also mute the entire server.
I only want notifications.
I only want notifications for like the chats that are like Queen specific or PAX specific.
I only want ones that are at me or directly to me.
Yeah.
to
I'll make you an admin when I get a chance to.
Nothing else. Look, the thing is, look, now I got the old FRC down over here.
I'm sorry you made that one.
So no, look at this, look at this, look at this. I got FRC, GN, FRC, and G.
I had like 3 more I'd made a long time ago. I just deleted. You can just delete them.
Great.
Am I still quieter than Scott?
Are
I
you?
can fix that. Ah, I see why.
Just crank it up.
I see why. Now I'm not quiet. Now I am quite loud. I had changed that because I was doing something. I think we're good. Okay. Got the stream. Got the biz. Let's just do this. It's Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geek Nights. Tonight, Treasure Island.
Yar.
Yar.
Ahoy.
You said you had an Opni bit, so go for it.
Woman.
Yeah, right?
Yesterday. It is cold.
Yesterday, it was like 50-something degrees. Like on the way home from PAX, like literally, I brought a winter coat because on Thursday it was cold. And then I come home and it's like 60 degrees outside. And now it's winter again. I feel like winter started like 3 times already.
It's too cold. Also, if you have an iPhone 7 and some other numbers, I guess, you have until the end of the year to get a new battery for $30 instead of $80.
It's worth it.
My battery didn't have any problems, but I just went to get a new battery
still worth it.
anyway because all the iPhones are too big. So my plan is to make this iPhone 7, which is still perfectly fine and smaller than all new iPhones.
I went one step further. I got
as long as humanly possible. So I got myself a $30 brand new battery.
A year ago, I got the last good Android phone, the Xperia XC1 Compact, and the new version of this phone is a piece of shit. So I bought, because I found one cheap, unopened, another one of this phone. And when this one starts to get battery shitty, I'm just going to sell it on
The only
eBay.
problem is eventually they're going to have 5G network and you'll need new radios.
The thing is, 4G is already fine for now.
Well, for now.
Yeah, I mean, yes, eventually. Within like 5 years, I'm going to have to give up on this Sony phone.
Right, but the point is I'm going to make this phone last as long as possible.
Yep.
Other notes, just side notes.
I might have to finally buy a new laptop, though. I have a laptop that will have made it 10 years, and there's nothing wrong with it except mini DisplayPort is a failed connector type.
Yeah, so side notes, number 1, if you go and get a new battery, the battery they give you is basically empty, so bring with you your Anchor battery so you can charge it.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, however you get home is going to suck.
Right, and B, you got your iCloud backup or your backup to your hard drive. So you can, because basically what happens is if they break your phone, which happened actually to the person next to me, if they break your phone while changing the battery, and it wasn't your phone's fault. They just give you a new phone. That's the exact same phone.
Yep.
Right? And you have to restore from backup, which totally works because iCloud backup actually works. I've used it several times. But the one thing that will not be backed up with an iCloud backup is, the way it works is it basically, instead of actually saving your apps in the backup, it just remembers which apps you had and where they were on the screen.
Yeah, you got to type your password and everything.
And then it
again.
re-downloads them all from the store all at once, and it also saves certain documents and data, like
Yep.
photos, text messages, that sort
Android
of thing.
is the same way. When I I took the backup from my old phone into this phone.
It's actually pretty clever. It's a
Yeah.
good way to back up.
It works really well.
When you have such a locked-in OS.
Except I had to type my fucking password into like 20 apps
Yes,
once.
you have to do that. I had to do that on my new iPad, which I
Yep.
restored from a backup of the old iPad.
Which was annoying because the password, my generic password, is really, really,
Right.
really long to type.
One thing, though, is if for some reason you have to get like a new phone and lose the actual data, you and your two-factor authentication app, right? You will be in trouble because you will open it and it will not let you log
Yup.
into anything.
Now,
Make sure if you use 2FA, which you should be using for anything that uses it, proper 2FA, not stupid text message 2FA.
Yep.
Make sure you go spend like
SMS 2FA is actually -1 modifier to how many factors you have.
I know, but the point is that if you're using it extensively, as you should be, make sure to go through, take an hour or two, wherever, and go down your list of all the things you have 2FA for.
And print your backup codes.
And print out backup codes.
Now, this is important because Scott lost a Discord account because some things, like Amazon,
the only one I've ever lost.
Amazon, if you mess it up, like you can do a reset, I think, and like fix it. Like most services have a way to like reset it with email.
This was years ago. Right?
Yeah, and Google is pretty good because if you get a YubiKey, you can have that and TOTP. So I have a YubiKey and my two-factor here and the backup code, so I'm good. But Discord does proper security. If you lose your two-factor and you don't have the backup codes, you are fucked. That account is gone.
Yeah, so I lost my Discord account that's associated with my actual email address. And
Is that the one you used to make that old Discord?
I had to use an alias email. I don't know. I have to use an alias email address in order to, log into Discord now. So like when I log into Discord, I got to remember, oh, right, it's not my normal email to log into this.
Yep. Also, if you use the GeekNights forum, I note that we support TOTP like Google Authenticator. It just works. You should use it.
Exciting.
Yeah. So my opening bit, and I'll tell the short story because it just says a fascinating thing happened to me. But basically, I need a new monitor because my monitor is also like 10 years old. It's like this ancient Ultra Sharp. And I didn't get monitors.
Your Ultra Sharp is the same Ultra Sharp I have two of at my desk. It's not ancient. It's perfectly fine.
So it's not enough pixels.
It's not 4K.
It's not.
It's 1920 by 1200. Yeah.
That's not enough pixels for the Adobe stuff I do.
It's perfectly fine.
It's not for Adobe.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
I've never had a problem.
The thing is, you don't edit that much. The only things I need a lot of pixels for are arguably gaming, but not really, because like it's fine. 1920 by 1200 is fine for Overwatch and Civ or whatever. But I want those pixels for Adobe, and also at work I have like a really nice, like super quality, like 4K new monitor. So I didn't really notice that over time this old Ultra Sharp has gotten less and less color correct, and also I want to take this one and make it my secondary monitor.
Well, also, I have two of those. You have.
Yes, I have one of those. My secondary monitor is Scott's 4x3 LCD monitor that was one of the first LCD monitors with a fast enough refresh rate on Earth to play games that was affordable by normal humans.
That monitor is from 2000 single digit.
Yep, like 2002.
2-ish. Let me go. Very early, and it's still rocking. I paid $500 for those monitors.
Yeah.
They're totally worth it. They kick ass.
So I'm going to replace that with my current Ultra
Kicking
Sharp.
ass for almost 20 years, those monitors.
And I'm going to replace my Ultra Sharp
Older
with the
than
new
GeekNights.
4K Ultra Sharp.
Okay.
But so I ordered one, and like you do, I went to Dell. I figured out which Ultra Sharp has like the right color correctness and things that I care about, because I don't need the one that costs 3 times as much that's slightly better colors. And I ordered it from Amazon, so I get the 5% off because of my Amazon card. I didn't notice until after I ordered it later that while I got it from Amazon, because I was just clicking through, it was like $150 cheaper than what Dell is selling it for before that discount. And it was shipped by someone else, not Dell. Which is fine, because like Amazon's got your back. So I order this thing, and it says, yeah, this will arrive like December 24th, and I'm not in a hurry. So yeah, I'll save like multiple hundreds of dollars and just not wait, like not be in a rush. So then like A few days later, like 4 days later, a suspicious package shows up at my house. The box is an HP Pavilion monitor of the same size as this one. And even worse, the box has 2 labels on it. The monitor box says it weighs like 14 pounds. The shipping label says it should weigh like 18 pounds. But then
you put it on a scale.
No, but then the shipping label from the actual shipment said it weighed 24 pounds. It was from a Turkish name I didn't recognize. And even worse, I was vaguely suspicious of like, what, did my mom like buy me a gift? Did someone buy me a gift? I'm trying to figure out like what this is. Did someone just put something in this monitor box? So I pick it up and shake it, and I hear metal banging against metal, and it's pretty heavy. So weird.
I'm confident that this box contains cellular phones.
So it's not often that like my suspicious signs go off. So I do the prudent thing. I take this UPS shipping number and I put it into the UPS site to see if it was actually shipped to me and where it was shipped from. And it was shipped, and it weighs as like the weight was weird, but whatever. So then I look it up and I figure out that it came from this like Costco wholesale distribution center. So I look it up there, and I end up actually like getting on a customer service call with them, and I'm like, "Did you ship this package to me? And can you tell me what is in it?" And what comes back is, after many minutes of talking to these people, yes, we shipped that to you. We can't tell you anything else about it or what's in it. Weird. So finally, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to open it.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, but I did a little bit of due diligence. Like, fuck it. So I open it, and sure enough, there's this HP Pavilion 4K monitor in there.
Of course.
Weird.
Obvious.
Yeah. But it was shipped naked. Like, it was shipped in the box. It was like usually when you buy something like that, the monitor box is in a regular cardboard box. And like my mom or like people I know will just use old monitor boxes to ship stuff. Like, why not? So that plot thickens. So I go and check, like, did someone just ship me the wrong fucking monitor? But no, because the Ultra Sharp I ordered was supposed to arrive like many weeks from now, and sure enough, did not show as delivered. So I'm like, well, all right, weird. I'll deal with this later. And I go to PAX. During PAX, I discover that basically some company did in fact ship this HP Pavilion monitor to me, ostensibly by accident, and wants me to ship it back. So that seems shady. So like it seems weird. So then I go into Amazon to look at the order of my Dell Ultra Sharp, and it says delivered, backdated to the date I got the suspicious package. So things are starting to line up, and I'm assuming scam. So I just say, fuck it, I want to return this. Amazon, they ship me some bullshit, whatever. And Amazon, of course, is like, all right, cool, just ship it, full refund. Then the seller that sent me this monitor contacts me independently and says, hey, we made a mistake, ship it back to us, and we'll ship you the right monitor. The shipping label they sent me is very different from the shipping label Amazon gave me. So even more warning signs. So I'm shipping it back with the Amazon label.
Sounds like some scam is going on.
Yep.
Here.
So I assume I'm going to get a
Someone
refund.
trying to launder money by moving monitors around.
So I get the shipping label. I get a refund from Amazon, and I'm just shipping this thing back. I'm actually going to drop it off at the UPS thing tomorrow. Like, oh, everything's fine, whatever. I figured there's some scam where they like ship the wrong monitor and hope you won't notice. Or like, I don't know. So the plot thickened because I got home today, and a Dell Ultra Sharp is sitting at our house.
All right.
From that same Turkish name. I don't know how they got it here that fast. So I'm going to figure out what to do. I'm going to see if this box in fact contains the Dell Ultra Sharp I ordered, or what I'm suspecting, a bunch of spiders.
Hobo spiders. So something similar, not too similar, but happened to me where I ordered stuff on Amazon, and I ordered this glass mixing bowl, and I needed a glass mixing bowl because all the mixing bowls I have for baking are metal.
Yep.
And I got a cookie recipe that requires browning the butter first, which means the butter's going to be hot. I want to put the hot butter in a metal mixing bowl and hurt myself.
Yeah.
Right?
I have one big glass mixing bowl for similar purposes.
So I went and I bought a cheapo Pyrex glass mixing bowl.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nice big one.
Oh, and then someone ships you a weird box of glass broken
and then I
I
see a message. It hasn't shipped yet, according to Amazon, but I get an email from FedEx. It's like, hey, something's on the way from Bed Bath & Beyond. I have not shopped at a Bed Bath & Beyond in a very long time. I will not do so because the last time I did, they started started spamming me with a bunch of garbage, and I don't like them, and their store's a mess, and I don't know how they're still in business. Fuck them. But so I'm like,
opinions,
right?
Big mood.
Yeah. So I'm getting this package. I'm like, did someone buy me a gift from Bed Bath & Beyond just coincidentally? It's close to holiday season. What's up with that?
Yep, that's the thing. It's the modifier of it's near the holiday season. Random package might just be gift.
Right. So I look on Amazon and on this FedEx at the tracking numbers of the glass mixing bowl and the Bed Bath & Beyond, right? And the tracking info for them was actually the same, but the numbers, the first 4 digits of the numbers were shuffled up. So I'm like, maybe I learned something today. Maybe I learned the first 4 digits of a tracking number don't matter.
Actually, there was something similar with my monitor situation, so...
Right, but I checked, and I tried to shuffle up the first 4 digits to another configuration. That didn't work. Only these 2 configurations worked.
Now I'm curious.
But anyway, the point is that I basically got, I got shafted because all the place that I bought the glass mixing, the reseller on Amazon, basically just found out that the glass mixing bowl was cheaper on Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yep.
So they bought it there and arbitraged me for a few dollars. But it didn't really matter to me because I saved the 5% with Amazon.
Yep.
So it's not like it would have been cheaper for me to go to Bed Bath & Beyond, nor would I want to go there because I hate them.
Yeah. I just don't like going to stores.
But it was, I could have bought it from the Bed Bath & Beyond website, is the point, for cheaper.
Yeah.
The list price was cheaper, but the
total
cost.
At this point, I buy, like, hand soap and conditioner on Amazon. Like, I don't even want to go to a drugstore.
No. Even though Amazon is also evil, at least they don't spam me.
Yeah.
They're evil to everyone but the customer. So I will continue to criticize them for being evil to their employees and everyone else they work with. But I can't not be their customer because they're too good to the customer.
So anyway, if you were confused why we're talking about monitors and Bed Bath & Beyond because you saw us at PAX Unplugged and wanted to see what this podcast was about, welcome to Geek Nights. So now we're going to talk about PAX Unplugged.
Now you know why I told you not to listen.
Yep. So PAX Unplugged just happened.
It was the second PAX Unplugged ever.
It was, from the perspective of reasonable attendees and ourselves, it was a triumph. It was a fantastic PAX. I had a really good time. I played a shit ton of games. The con achieved everything I wanted. And I don't know what else I can say other than PAX Unplugged is a really, really great PAX to go to.
The only problem I had with PAX Unplugged is that I didn't have enough time there because,
it ain't 4 days.
Yeah, I was missing a lot of time because, I would go do a panel. One of the 2 panels we did was 2 hours.
Yep.
And then I got prep time before and cleanup time after. And even though going back to the room is just a walk through a skywalk, we don't have to go outside even. I did not play as many games as I wanted to play.
You know what I think happened to us is that in the old PAXs, they were only 3 days, but they went till 2 a.m.
That's also true.
So even if we did 3 panels, we felt like we got all the time we needed to game. And then just as PAXs started coming into midnight, they all went 4 days, or they're PAX South where we have infinite free time. PAX South has just got a lot of downtime. It's really easy to play games. PAX Unplugged, we did a bunch of panels, and it's only 3 days, and it ends at midnight.
Yep.
And the lobby gaming situation, I think part of it too is that back in the day, we would all go into lobbies of hotels and continue to game for several hours. You all went to bed.
We did not get a lot of pre-PAX gaming, and also because it's so close to home on Sunday, we just go home immediately.
I'm staying the night on Sunday next year.
We don't get Sunday night gaming.
Yeah, well, I got evening gaming. You went to bed like a little baby. So
Okay.
In fact, I played a really good game on Friday night.
Uh-huh.
And we had some beers. The Marriott lobby was interesting, though, because that hotel's lobby is not great for gaming, but it has a bar, but the bar is filled with 50% basic people who aren't even staying at the hotel. They're just in Philly and want to drink in this Marriott bar.
Yeah, I actually did not like the hotel, but I will probably book it again next year because
it's connected to the Sky Bridge.
Because you don't have to go outside.
Yep, that is the only reason to stay in that hotel, because it had surly staff, surly security.
It was really big. The room was meh.
And the bar.
It wasn't a Chai Lai Inn room, but it was meh.
The bar wasn't rowdy. I have no there were PAX hairs gaming at after midnight next to basic people drinking. But what was annoying about it is that the guards are super surly, and there's this weird cavalcade of drunk people. I don't understand why you go to a hotel bar in Philly to drink at night as opposed to an actual bar, because none of these people can use the bathroom in this bar because the bathroom requires a room key that they won't give you if you're not staying in the hotel. So all these basic people are walking past our board game trying to go into this bathroom all night long. It was just a weird situation. But the secret is, even if you're not staying in Home 2, the other hotel, just go game in Home 2. It has like no security and has a million big tables in the lobby, and basically no one will hassle you. It's just like this place to go game. And they have free tea, and if you're slightly evil, you can also get free cereal.
Okay.
We were there playing gambling games.
All right.
What's funny about PAX Unplugged, though, is that if you look at all the gamers who went to it and like the feedback people have out in the wild, like on Reddit and the Penny Arcade forums, it seems like there's 3 kinds of people talking about PAX Unplugged. And what's interesting is that
I think there's more than 3 kinds.
there's 3 main kinds. That I think I would say the 3 main kinds are people who are used to PAXs, who go to PAX Unplugged because it's another PAX. The people who are used to shitty board game cons like Gen Con, who expected PAX Unplugged to be like Gen Con, and thus it wasn't because it's better, and now they're mad about it. And the people who really don't go to cons at all, and this is their first gaming con because it's the first one that's near them that's big. And those 3 groups have a lot of disagreement over what attributes would make a board gaming con successful.
Yeah, there's definitely a clash of cultures at PAX Unplugged that unlike what is at the other PAXs, right? The other PAXs, it's like the cultures don't clash as much because A, they're sort of separated.
Yep, like the streamer kids literally don't interact with the
they're
tabletoppers.
separated by space, right? It's like, you know, those swag hunting people, they're in this giant expo hall, right? They don't come into the tabletop zone too much, right? You're not seeing them. Right, and then the tabletop people, they're in a tabletop zone.
Yep.
It's like there's not, you're not interacting with these other people, even though they're also there.
Also, both of those groups get what they wanted and are happy and go away.
Right, but at PAX Unplugged, you have in this one giant free, everyone's there for tabletop. It's all tabletop. There's this one giant free play space, and in that free play space, you have the same, grognard from Gen Con, noob board gamer type person who's, fresh, and then, PAX people. All in the same place, all buying the same Cookie Brigade cookies.
So, like, literally, there are people, like, we show up, we're like, okay, panels, like, you see the PAX people, they know the drill. Like, they go to the keynote and the Q&A, and they go to a panel and they play the games. And then you see the fresh people who are like, panels? Like, what's a panel? What's going on? What are these things? I just want to buy board games. What? And then the Gen Con people are like, how come I have to wait in a line? Why couldn't I buy a ticket to this panel in advance?
Because money doesn't get you anything at PAX.
Yep.
It's egalitarian PAX.
But
deal with it.
I think the PAX culture is going to win out in the end because
because it's PAX. It's
but also because I think it is the superior experience, and the people who disagree are welcome to go to Gen Con instead.
Well, they go to Gen Con. They already go to Gen Con. They want more Gen Con because there's only one Gen Con a year.
Well, you know what? Maybe if Gen Con was better, there could be more than one Gen Con.
Well, I mean, there is some other Gen Con type stuff. There's isn't there European Gen Con, or there was at one point?
Or there's also those regular tabletop gaming
There are
cons.
many Gen Con like cons.
I mean, UberCon was like that, just small.
And it's mostly like the RPG people who are used to having schedules and things arranged, right?
Yeah.
But it's like
they're not used to come to a con and be like, what? Just show up and try to get into a game? What? My whole weekend is dependent upon playing this one particular D&D scenario. And if I don't know in advance I can do that, I don't want to go. I would rather that culture never interact with PAX.
Yep. Anyway.
But yeah, it was a good time. So in some other gaming news, Fortnite and Epic are doing something interesting. They're basically pulling the Valve 2.0.
Right. So, way back in the day, Steam was created, and I have a Steam account that is as old as Steam.
My Steam account is 3 days younger than Scott's.
Go look at my Steam account. Anyone can see my Steam profile. You'll see that it says that it was created on a day in 2000-something.
So, Scott,
and if you go to Wikipedia, you will see that Steam was launched on that very same day.
So, Scott, why did you install Steam in an era when there were literally no games to download on Steam?
Because there were games to download. In that year, the early 2000s, everyone was playing the very important game that is still around called Counter-Strike. And if Counter-Strike released an update, what you had to do every time Counter-Strike updated, which was frequently.
Yep, at least once a quarter at RIT.
You had to go to counter-strike.net, click on downloads, hope the site was live.
Yep.
There would be a list of mirrors, and you had to click on all of those mirrors in your browser that did not yet have tabs.
Yep.
The tab browsing was not a thing. And all those windows like FileZone and 2Cows and all these different file hosting sites, You had to find one that was still live because they were all being pummeled by people trying to get the latest version of Counter-Strike.
And even though we were
You
an
had to
RIT and had like 2 OC3 connections to the internet, which back then
Well,
was more
it wasn't-
bandwidth than God.
We weren't limited on our end. We were limited by these file hosts that were down.
We were also limited by the fact that at RIT, there were like 12,000 students. 11,500 of them were trying to download this file simultaneously.
If you got the file, though, you could share it directly with your friends because it was the era of P2P.
Yeah, but fuck you. I'm playing immediately. I'm not like uploading a file to the
Well, I
Direct
could put it in my hotline folder and then run it. And then
Oh, right, your hotline.
Anyway.
That also had the Trigun fan subs.
Yes. Anyway, the point is you could go and that was how you got Counter-Strike updates.
It was a giant pain in the ass.
Steam was like, all right, we're putting up Steam. Why are they putting up Steam? Why did they make this thing Steam? It didn't have friends. It didn't have any of this other stuff. It was just a way for you to automatically install and update your Valve games without having to
When you say by your Valve games, it was a way to update Counter-Strike for pretty much everyone
also
who used
Half-Life
it.
1.
Yeah, but
And
even by then,
Half-Life 1 things like Half-Life 1 whatever.
no one was playing like
Day of Defeat.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Anyway.
In those early days of Steam, 99.9 repeating percent of people were playing Counter-Strike.
It was also replacing WAN, the World Opponent Network, which was if you wanted to play Counter-Strike, you had to like find servers. You'd bring up this window to browse for servers to join.
Yep.
And that was run by Sierra/WAN, the World Opponent Network. Right? If you look at the original box for Half-Life 1, it has a Sierra logo on it. That's why.
the same logo that's on like Quest for Glory.
That's right. But that Steam was also replacing that. Valve was running their own servers and their own, at some point, to browse, their own lobby servers to find Counter-Strike servers.
The point is we're old, but the other point is that because Valve made Steam, and Steam was the way to update pretty much the most played PC game on Earth at the time, it meant that when Valve wanted to just make the store to sell games and turn Steam into that store, they had the guaranteed built-in audience, and it was guaranteed to succeed.
Yes, Steam added all those features like friend chat and a store as they went on, and it became to conquer the world. It is now basically the PC game store. Many other companies have been like, damn it, I want to sell PC games, but I don't want to give Valve some of my monies, right? So I'm going to make my own store. There's a Ubisoft store. There's an EA Origin store.
You all know how
there's
well those stores worked.
Yeah, there's all these competing stores because they don't want to give Valve a cut, and all those stores have not done well.
Yep.
They had not dominated the scene. Sometimes you install one of them just because it's a game you want to play, but you don't actually buy anything else in that
More
store.
than once in my life, I have rebought a game I already own on Steam just because it was easier than like dealing with the old store.
You use the Steam store. All those other things like except for the Battle.net one, maybe, because you have to, right? It's like they're just launchers for a specific subset of games that are not on Steam, and all the other games you buy on Steam. But today, the Fortnite people, Epic, the people who also make the Unreal Engine, are like, hey, we got Fortnite. We'll make a fucking store. Right? We don't want to give Valve or whoever a cut of our Fortnite monies.
And
we're number one.
And also, Valve takes a huge cut. We'll just take way less of a cut because fuck it.
Right. They're like, all right, not only are we going to make our own store for Fortnite, but you know what? You want to sell your games on the Fortnite store? The thing that people probably have installed just as much as they have Steam installed?
More people are probably
We will
playing
take
Fortnite.
less of your money than Valve will take.
More humans are probably playing Fortnite right now than have ever played Counter-Strike.
Maybe.
Like, Fortnite is the Counter-Strike of this era, which means that Epic gets to be the Valve of this era, starting from a clean slate if they want to be.
If they can get enough people to sell their non-Fortnite games on the Epic Fortnite store.
I would put them on the Epic store if I had a game.
Yeah, if I had a game, why wouldn't I put it on that store?
Plus, I get access to a fresh audience, not these old Counter-Strike nerds who bitch about everything, Grim and Scott.
The point is that Valve has also done something. They said, all right, we realize our cut, which is a flat percentage, is too big if your game is too big, right? If you have a small game on Steam and, they take this percentage, it's like, all right, you got to give Valve enough money to pay for the services they're providing you, like delivering your files to everyone who buys your game and handling all the monies. And, right? It's only fair that you give them some money, right? They're doing all the shit for you, right? But if you have a big popular game on Steam, that percentage cut, even though it's a small percentage, comes out to an enormous amount of money, which is way more than the services Valve is providing you. So they said, all right, we got a new deal on Steam. If your game gets real big, we will shrink the cut. Sort of like how if you're a retail store and you order more product from a wholesaler, you know, they give you a better deal.
So what this means, I think, is a couple of things. One, it means that Valve's monopoly days are numbered.
Yeah, the
and
Steam,
two,
you know, nothing, you know, you feel like, oh, you know, nothing can be affronted. MySpace died, right? Tons of Google things have died.
Someday Amazon will die. Like, all things die.
Facebook is vulnerable. Even Steam is vulnerable, right? I still will go buy things on Steam before I buy them anywhere else because Steam has been around as long as I've made that account.
I own so many fucking games on Steam.
Steam has been around since before browsers had tabs, basically. But meanwhile, you go to, like, say, the Nintendo Wii shop is going to die, like, early next year, right?
Yep.
So that is why if there's a game that is on Switch and Steam, I almost always buy the Steam one and not the Switch one.
My Oculus has its own store, built in, real easy to use.
Can't you also buy Oculus games on Steam, though?
Yes, I buy all my games on Steam, and I go into the Steam launcher instead of the Oculus launcher.
Right. I trust that Steam, even if it is affronted by the Epic Store, will continue to exist for a very long time.
So here's what I predict is going to happen. There is now going to be a real competition on how much of a cut the stores take and how many features the stores provide.
Great for game developers.
Yeah, this is
great for game players and customers.
When I say
it's only bad for Valve and Epic.
When I say
not really bad for Epic either. They're going from zero to money.
But when I say the features that the stores provide, I don't mean to you and me. They don't give a shit about us. I mean to the developers, because it sucks ass to put a game up on Steam because they knew they didn't have to help you.
Yep.
Now the stores are going to compete for the attention of the developers.
They're going to try to get exclusives, like please put your game on the Steam and not on the Epic.
Or they're going to reduce friction to make it real easy to manage your game on their platform and deploy it to the platform to make it more likely for more developers to use the platform out of convenience.
Yeah, much like consoles, they're going to be not only trying to get exclusives, but both of the companies that own stores are also developers, right?
Oh, that's the other thing. They're going to start making games again.
Right. Fortnite will fade, right? Artifact hasn't really done great.
Yep.
As predicted.
You know what this means? Valve might actually have to make fucking Half-Life 3.
These companies, you can expect, as Fortnite fades, they are and Valve, as all of their games fade, they are going to have to develop games to make their stores things that people must install, right? Also expect Blizzard Activision. You know, they already got, what's the friggin' Destiny whatever in their store there in the Battle.net client. You can expect them to maybe be trying to load up that client with other stuff, right?
Yep.
You know.
So stay tuned. This is all good news for us. And I mean, most people in the old days, like when we were young, they'd be like, "Oh, Counter-Strike will be the top game forever," and it was until pretty recently, actually.
Yeah, you'll know that it's a real thing when I have to install the Epic Store to install some. I won't install Fortnite, but there might be something else I need it for.
We did a panel in like 2010 or 2011 where I still have a screenshot of it. Where I took a screenshot of the current simultaneous players of the top 10 games on Steam, and it was literally number 1 was like Counter-Strike Source, number 2 was Counter-Strike 1.6.
Yep.
So everyone who complains about Fortnite because you're old like us, listen, Fortnite is Counter-Strike. Everything cycles. Everything is old is new. This is the same thing happening all over again.
The question is, even though Fortnite is obviously huge, right, will it last as long as Counter-Strike has lasted, or will it at some point go...
Or will it be that the cycle of this will just be faster? Because in the old days, it took a long time for anyone to even try to compete with Counter-Strike. Meanwhile, we had like PUBG and Fortnite are out like within hours of each other.
Well, PUBG went. It's not obviously there's still plenty of people playing PUBG.
Yeah.
But it sort of did not win win the battle.
No, PUBG won a battle to lose the war.
Yeah.
It's a niche experience, and even though I prefer it, I'm not going to complain about Fortnite because Fortnite is very accessible and is going to really deliver. Fortnite is doing to PC gaming and cross-platform play. And when I say cross-platform, I mean like on a PC or on a Switch or on a tablet or on a phone. Who gives a shit? Just games everywhere. It's going to do to the modern space what Counter-Strike did to earlier PC gaming, what Quake 2 did to even earlier PC gaming. It's all good news. Of course, also, if you're not aware, Smash is coming out on the Switch.
The new Smash is going to be out this Friday. So if you're wondering, you want to let me smash?
Let me smash.
You want to let me smash? You can smash on Friday.
So
get ready because your holidays and your MagFest are going to be full of smashing.
Yep. The only worry I have is that the local wireless multiplayer, I assume, will just not work at all because Nintendo has never gotten that to work ever on any platform they've ever delivered.
And I'm not paying for the online service.
Nope.
So it's going to be local one Switch multiplayer with a bunch of controllers, as per usual.
Yep.
At least they're wireless.
And of course, Rastakhan's Rumble, it just came out in Hearthstone.
Yep, a new Hearthstone expansion came out today. Like, it's out right now as I speak. When I get home, that's probably what I'm going to do.
All right. Oh, there's like 11 people watching.
Go away.
But anyway, things of the day. So Emily shared this video with me, and it's a stream, of some people playing VR chat. And if you're not familiar, VR chat is kind of fascinating. It's basically
Is it just people who put on VR things just to chat?
But
in
it also
VR?
has a desktop client, and you can basically it is basically the cyberspace that we all wanted in the 90s. But it kind of just exists today, and people just like interact in this space, and it's a whole thing on its own. But in this space, people have also made these games. Like you can just play these kind of like low-rent games with a lot of people, and because most of the people who are using it do have like VR rigs, like you're capturing all their motion. It's pretty immersive and pretty interesting. Like this is something that if you have kids, like they are in this thing. Even if you don't own VR and you probably don't even realize it. It's real big. But this video is a stream with this kid and this guy. I don't know if it's like an older brother or a dad, but the kid's name is Jordan. And the kid has been like living in VR chat. And this older person is like, let me play with you. I'll come in there and I'm gonna record us playing and we'll see how it goes. And this kid is basically Catbug in real life. And this kid is just too cute and too innocent for the terrifying world of VR chat, let alone the evil realities of a cruel earth. And this is so cute to watch. He's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And the older guy's like, all right, Jordan, tell me what to do. And he's like, so first you take this bomb. He's like, whoa, bomb. Okay, whatever, let's go. He's like, and you run up here. Okay, Jordan, and what do? Then you huck it over the edge. And then it explodes, and he's like, and maybe it killed someone. And the dad's just like, whoa, okay. It's so cute. You gotta watch this. Yeah, like seriously, this kid is just Catbug in real life.
Okay.
Kid's gonna be a famous streamer someday, I think, because of this video.
So check this out. There was apparently some movie called The Art of Rhyme, or maybe a documentary or something. I've never seen it. I've only seen this clip, this 1 minute and 40-second clip that was posted on YouTube because a coworker shared it on Slack.
Ooh.
And this is video footage from Bed-Stuy neighborhood in Brooklyn. And in this video is the long deceased Notorious B.I.G. freestyling like oh snap, and he's only 17 years old.
Oh damn.
So you can see in case you are too young to know about Biggie. Now you can know, like going back and watching, Michael Jordan dunk or whatever.
Yep.
You can see why he was so talented and why he is so missed.
Wow, look at this. This video gives me life.
That's what I'm saying.
In the meta moment, we're back from PAX Unplugged. We'll try to get video of our 2 panels up when we get a chance.
Oh, I forgot to bring it.
That's fine.
I have it backed up in 3 places, just not with me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to have time to edit shit until this weekend. So if then. And also, I'm going to get PAX to give me the actual video they took because the 40 tabletop games you must play, we didn't just do the panel in a panel room. It was in the big panel room, so it was live streamed on the PAX Twitch.
So can you go to the PAX Twitch, and is there a VOD available to see it right now?
I'm not sure because I haven't had a chance to go check.
Well, go check the twitch.tv/PAX2.
Yeah, I assume it was PAX 2.
I assume it's PAX 2, but check all the official PAX Twitch TV channels.
GeekNights is moderately popular. We are not popular enough to be PAX 1.
Right, look at their VOD. That's main theater.
Yeah, the day we're in the main theater is either the day that something crazy has happened or the day that PAX has made a terrible mistake.
Check the saved videos attached to those Twitch channels and see if you can find our panel if you really have nothing better to do. Okay.
Yep. And we will be now upcoming at MagFest doing like a bunch of panels.
Oh,
DVD.
no.
You don't have to be on all of them if you don't want
Hooray.
to. And we will be at PAX South in San Antonio, like right after that.
Oh, yeah.
Doing at least one panel, and that panel is a brand new one that I still have to write. Nostalgia versus game design. I think we're going to talk about Windjammers at least once in this panel.
No one wanted to accept my panel about harmful,
real harm of games?
harmful games.
I think we're going to do that one at PAX East.
Okay.
That's a good. I think PAX East is a good place for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at MagFest, I might sneak it in a Mages. We'll see.
Mm.
So stay tuned. Otherwise, the book is 2001: A Space Odyssey. I have a lot of downtime over the holidays. I'll probably read it.
I do not have to go to work from Christmas through New Year, and I'm only not partying until New Year.
Oh, the cold guy says it was on PAX 2.
It was on PAX 2.
Because PAX 3 was a different room.
All right, well, verify if the video is there or not. It might not,
When I get a chance, I've been busy.
Okay.
I haven't even unpacked from PAX yet. Give me a break. God, it's always hard to, like, our lives are different now from what they were a decade ago.
Right,
when, every year, we'd be like, oh, it's time for PAX, this once-a-year event. Son, I get like 5 PAXs a year now. I've got 4 gaming conventions in the span of like 2.5 months.
In other meta moments, even though we're going to be doing GeekNights, we might miss some because holidays and shit, right? So, you know how it is. Next week, there'll be a Monday, Wednesday, hopefully.
Yep, hopefully. But I do intend to do some other shows when Scott's not around. And both of us, when shows don't happen, will probably be live streaming a bunch of stuff. And sometime soon, we're going to be judging the upcoming season of anime.
Yeah, we have to do that in December.
Yep. And if you look at our website now, you can see when we judged the previous season of anime, the fall season before it came out, so you can find out if we were right about Tokyo Ghoul Re 2 or whatever.
All right, so we're going to talk about a game called Treasure Island, the most
someone in the stream just linked to the VOD of the stream.
Good job.
So yeah, go to the live stream right now, and you can click on this link. I hope that link actually goes to it and not to a Rickroll. I didn't check it.
I hope so. Anyway, so Treasure Island, the most straightforward game name you could possibly think of. Yes, it's just directly based on the book. There's a Long John Silver.
The black spot, like the monkey, everything.
It's pirate themed. It's literally just fucking Treasure Island, the game.
So here's the deal.
The way it works is it's a lot like Fury of Dracula. One player is Long John Silver.
Yeah, I played the first and only time I played this game. I was Long John Silver.
And
holy shit, is that stressful and difficult?
The other 4 players are pirates. I don't remember if they're characters in the book or not. I assume they were. They're characters, whatever. They have slightly different powers. But anyway,
I've never read the book all the way through.
Oh, I have.
I read excerpts from it in like elementary
But it was
school?
very long time ago.
Yeah.
I remember.
I saw the one old movie.
I have better memories of Muppet Treasure Island, which I saw several times.
I remember Muppet Treasure Island better than I remember any other form of Treasure Island.
That is true. Anyway, Animal Treasure Island is also good. Isn't that is it Miyazaki or Tezuka works?
I've never actually seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I just know it exists. Anyway, the point is, this game, much like Fury of Dracula, has Long John Silver hiding a treasure instead of running around Europe like Dracula, and up to 4 players working together to find the treasure, but they're not really together. Unlike Fury of Dracula, they're competing to who gets the treasure first.
Yep. And the other conceit that's interesting is that Long John Silver, the game is basically Long John Silver is being interrogated by the pirates.
He's in jail on the island somewhere.
So first, he's just being interrogated, and you have to use cards and basically give clues about where the treasure is.
Right, well, Long John is, while he's being interrogated, gives clues to the interrogators.
But then at some point, during one of the turns, one of the players puts Long John in a prison on the island somewhere.
Right, there's several prisons on the map. Long John is in one of them. At some point, you find out which one he's in.
Eventually, the end of the game, if none of the pirates found the treasure, Long John breaks out and now moves around the map with the same rules as the players. And if Long John gets to his own treasure, he wins. Fuck you all.
Right. One other thing is that Long John is giving these clues to the players, whether they use their powers or just every turn he has to sort of do something, or every so often he has to give information to the interrogators. But he can lie up to 2 times during the game. He doesn't actually have to lie, but 2 of his clues, all the clues must be true, except up to 2 of them may or may not be true, right?
Yep, and the may or may not is key.
Yep.
Because one of my possibilities of lies, I actually told the truth to try to double cross the players, and it worked on everyone but one player.
Because you tell the truth, you put the lying token next to it, a player uses their power to look at the token.
And the other players don't see it.
They see it. That player now sees like a question mark, right? But they assume, oh, that means it's not true, and they invert that thing. It's like, no, actually.
So get this. This happened in the game. So our friend Tracy, he assumed that the first clue I put down was a lie, and he was right.
Well, I thought you're not allowed to lie in the first one.
The first clue that
you can't get a lie token until like the third.
No, you get one lie token at the beginning of the game, and you get one. Oh,
I thought you
through.
Get one like after turn X. Or something.
You get the second one after turn X.
Oh, okay.
You have to put one clue out that you can't lie about before the game starts.
That's right.
Then you put ones out. The first one I put out that I had discretion, I put the lie token, and I did lie. Tracy said before the game started, I bet Rim will put the lie tokens out but not actually lie. But then he used his power immediately to check to see if I lied on the first turn. And of course I did, and I did lie. He then played the beginning of the game searching and acting as though he thought I was telling the truth, trying to trick the other three pirates into thinking that I had told the truth there, when in fact he thought I had lied, and in fact I had lied. That was really well played.
The point is, this game, when you see it, is a huge ton of fun because you're not just moving around a map, right? You know, with little tokens like a normal game. You're drawing on the map. Everyone has a personal map that they can draw on.
Yep,
the game comes
including Long John Silver.
Right. The game comes with like all these dry erase markers and a compass. You can draw radiuses, radii.
Yep. There's
right?
a ruler. If you move, you like draw on the ruler how many miles you're gonna move.
There
There's
are
a smaller rule for the
ruler
for the
it's very theme appropriate. It's like you're using all these sort of nautical-ish, much simpler than actual nautical sextants or whatever. But you know, tools to draw on this map, the shared map as well as your personal maps. They give you a mini ruler, so you can use that on your tiny map, and it's at scale to the big ruler you use on the big map. Right, so you can measure things out privately, you know, and it's like, oh, you can say like, so like you'll be like, yes, the treasure is within 3 of one of these players.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
But then of all the players,
so everyone starts drawing circles and being like, okay, it's got to be in one of these circles.
But some of the clues are things that I hand to the other players. So each player knows like 5 sets of information independently of one another, and then collectively they know another set of information, but that set of information may or may not be true, and different players might have looked at different tokens.
And the players aren't sharing info with each other.
Hell
right?
no.
So even though it might be like, if all the players shared info, they might know exactly where the treasure is right away, because they each have separate info, right? It's like, well, it's going to take any one player a longer amount of time to figure out where the treasure is.
This also means that since I was Long John Silver, I was keeping track of, as best I could, the kinds of information I'd given to different players to try to give individual players worthless information to them if I had the opportunity to give just them information.
Yep.
And I successfully gave 2 players fucking bullshit because I knew things they knew, and I gave them the same information over and over again via different mechanisms.
Yep. So that's basically how this game goes. Long John tries to give as little information as possible. The players do a Scotland Yard, Fury of Dracula kind of narrowing down possibilities thing. They walk along the map to the possible areas, use their searching ability in attempting to find the treasure.
So the fun part is that the placement rules for the treasure are literally, I just fucking mark an X anywhere.
Yep.
Like,
anywhere on this whole, the map doesn't really have like a grid or anything.
Nope.
It's just a picture of an island with a bunch of features on it, and you put a dot on your private map, and that's where the treasure is.
And of course, what Scott was musing that I would do, and what I did in fact do, is I drew 1 goddamn pixel.
That's
right. And I was like, it is here at the intersection of the edge of this building and this forest.
Yeah, you're very precise in where the treasure was, so if someone came close, and someone did.
Someone came literally within like,
they were like
2 millimeters
they were more like a centimeter
They were
away.
less than a centimeter.
But the point is they came real close, but their circle clearly was not on the spot you had selected, so no treasure for you.
And the way you search, and there's a fun little bit here, is you use this little ring, and you literally draw on the big map a circle around where you're searching, and the ring has to fit around your character, so where you move to, like, you're really limited, and then I have to decide if it's inside or not. The rule is, if there's any question as to whether or not it's inside,
it is.
It is. Hence, I literally put a dot on my map, and then I use my fingernail to shave off pieces of that dot because the marker's only so precise to make it down to like this 1 pixel. And then I took a picture of it in case I accidentally smudged that 1 pixel off.
Yep. But anyway, the one very interesting mechanic in this game is that when players search, if they find the treasure, Long John takes this little cardboard treasure chest, puts the big treasure token in it, hands it to the player, they open it, the big treasure's in there, they win.
When anyone searches, what I did is I took the treasure chest, this big cardboard box, I either put nothing in it, I put one of the mini treasures that I can give out at my own discretion. There's reasons why you would.
Yep.
Or if they got it right, I just would have put the big treasure in and not said anything.
Right, that's what you're supposed to do. But what I'm saying is the clever mechanic is those small treasures.
Yeah.
Long John has to give out these clues as the game goes on to the players. But it's like a deck of clues.
The clues suck. You read these clues, it's like, wow, any one of these will just fuck me.
Right, the clues, if you have to give those clues, if you give them honestly, which you have to do all but 2 times, you're just going to tell them where the treasure is. But if you give players these mini treasures when they search, right, then what you can do is, if you've given enough tiny treasures to the players, not the big treasure that makes you win the game, but the tiny ones, that gives you access to these other clues that are weaker clues. And using the weaker clues is much easier because now you won't have to basically give the whole game away with your giant lousy clues.
But now you've given players very powerful tools to use.
Yes, those tiny treasures give the players abilities that they can now use during the game. So it's like I can either give them TMI or I can give them less info but more abilities to make their search easier. And you have to sort of figure out what you want to do. Meanwhile, players know this. They know that's how the game works. So what players can do, which I learned after the first game, is don't use your searching ability early in the game, and thus Long John is forced to give the big clues.
Yep.
He can't give the little clues if you haven't searched, because then he can't give you the little treasures. Then again, you're also not searching. You're just walking around using other forms of clues and other actions besides the search action. So you got this balancing act going on. That's the cool part of the game. What I think is the problem with this game is that with intelligent players, I do not think Long John can win.
So, I was Long John the first time I ever played the game. 2 of the people at the table had already played this game multiple times, and all 3 of the pirates were very smart people.
Yep.
I was literally 1 turn from winning. I busted out of prison, and I got right next to my fucking treasure.
You would have gotten it next turn. You were definitely in range.
I did. They had narrowed down by the end of the game. Like, they couldn't find the treasure.
Like I said, one person on that previous turn had searched less than a centimeter away from the treasure location.
They collectively narrowed it down to maybe 6 square centimeters on the entire map.
Yep.
Like, they were so close, and then I couldn't get, because I hosted myself by my own petard, because I drew my treasure dot as such a precise pixel, I was literally less than half a centimeter away from being able to just win. And then I lost in the last possible round.
Yep, I mean that's what I think, is I think it's calibrated in such a way. I think if the players are not that good at searching or are less skilled, I think a skilled
Long John just wins.
A skilled Long John would just dominate them,
but I think a poor quality Long John will lose immediately.
A poor quality Long John will lose immediately and give everything away. But amongst all skilled players, where everyone is up on up, I think that the Long John, they can take the game into the late stages, but I don't think they can get away with it. It's, I think what would be good is if you just kept exactly the same everything. Don't change a thing except make the map just maybe like 6 inches larger in both directions. That way, with the same exact clues, right, you're making it a little harder to narrow it down, and maybe at the end, it might also be a problem, but at least the players might have 2 choices and have to pick one, right? And it's like, okay, well, the game comes down to luck then. Well, maybe it does, but at least it's not just sort of like this locked-in thing that's less
I also
exciting.
feel like if you get really fine-tipped dry erase markers, you can make the game more interesting, because
I would love to see a digital version of this game.
Hell yeah.
That was pixel perfect with zooming in and zooming out.
I would play that a lot.
Where you had to literally click the exact pixel on like a, like you get like
you do your search radius.
Like a 2000 by 2000 JPEG, and you must click, that would be what, 40,000 pixels?
Well, you got to search the area around your character that includes some number of pixels.
Your search must include that pixel specifically. If that pixel is just outside the edge of your radius, you didn't get it.
But the moral is, like, in the end, this game is way fun and worth owning.
Yeah, if you want to have a searching, finding game, I would rather play this than Scotland Yard.
Well, because Scotland Yard...
slash Mr. X or whatever.
If you're a computer scientist or even computer science adjacent, you can easily determine an algorithm that guarantees Mr. X will lose.
Yes. I would rather play this than Fury of Dracula because even though I like the hidden card movement and searching of Fury of Dracula a little bit better than the Treasure Island, I do not like any of the other parts of Fury of Dracula.
Dude, busting out the compass and drawing a giant fucking circle on this map is really, really satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when the treasure is like a millimeter outside of that circle and you're just like, nope, stone face.
Yep. There is a game I played that you did not play called Cryptid, which is a hex map.
Oh,
and you're trying to find a chupacabra. Or equivalent, right? And it's and there's clues like different information than the player's like, okay, I know it's not in a mountain hex. I know it's 2 away from a forest hex, that kind of thing. And you sort of narrow it down and see who can find it first. I played that game once and I won because I narrowed it down to 3 hexes and guessed, and I guessed right. But it's similar, but. Cryptid is, while perfectly fine, it does not have the fun of drawing with the sextant or the compass and all that biz.
The drawing makes it real fun.
Yeah. So in terms of, while it is not perfect and has some flaws, in terms of one versus many hide-and-seek games, I think Treasure Island may be the current #1 of ones that I have played.